ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಲ್ಲಡ್ಕ ಪ್ರಭಾಕರ್ ಭಟ್ ಹಾಗೂ ಅತಿಥಿ ಅಭ್ಯಾಗತರು ಆಗಮಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಾವಧಾನ್ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಟ.
Today, we are privileged to host the 𝐸𝐶EF Regional Fair, a platform where young scientific minds step forward with ideas that can shape the future. I request the management and the principal to escort dignitaries to the stage.
ಜೈ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ್. ಉಪವಿಶ. ಇದೀಗ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರಾದ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಎ ಮತ್ತು ವೃಂದದವರಿಂದ.
ಪರಿಪರಿಯ ಅಪರಿಮಿತ ಹೊಂಬೆಳಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿಹುದು ಹರಡುತ್ತಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲೆಡೆಯು ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಿರಣ. ಅರಿವಿನ ಪ್ರಣತಿಯದು ಬೆಳಗಿ ಮನದೇ ಗುಲದಿ ಹರಿದು ಭಕುತಿಯ ತೊರೆಯು ಸೋಕಿತ ಚರಣ. ಪರಿಪರಿಯ ಅಪರಿಮಿತ ಹೊಂಬೆಳಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿಹುದು ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಗುರಿರಲು ಜ್ಞಾನದಾಹದಲತೆಯು ಅನುದಿನವು ಕಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೌತುಕದ ನೋಟ. ಇನಿತಿನಿತು ನಡೆದಿರಲು ಸೌಹಾರ್ದ ಮೇಳಗಳು ಮನುಜರಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬುತ್ತ ಅರಿವಿನ ಪಾಠ. ಪರಿಪರಿಯ ಪರಿಮಿತ ಹೊಂಬೆಳಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿಹುದು. ಗೆಲುವ ಸಾಧಿಪ ಚಲವ ತುಂಬುತ್ತಲಿ ಹರಸಂ ನಲುಮೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋಧಿಸಿದ ಶಾಂತಿಯ ಮಂತ್ರ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿನಂತೆಲ್ಲೆಡೆಯು ಪಸರಿಸುವ ಜ್ಞಾನವದು ಫಲಿಸುತ್ತಲಿ ನೂರ್ಕಾಲ ಬಾಳುವ ತಂತ್ರ. ಫಲಿಸುತ್ತಲಿ ನೂರ್ಕಾಲ ಬಾಳುವ ತಂತ್ರ. ಪರಿಪರಿಯ ಅಪರಿಮಿತ ಹೊಂಬೆಳಕು ಇಲ್ಲಿಹುದು ಹರಡುತ್ತಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲೆಡೆಯು ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಿರಣ. ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಿರಣ. ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಿರಣ. ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಿರಣ. ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಿರಣ. ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಕಿರಣ.
To extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to all our dignitaries, participants, teachers and guests, I invite our principal, Srimati Sindhu VG, to deliver the welcome address.
Jai Shri Ram. We have gathered here for the 3 days Avishkar 2K25, which is a program organized by our school to inculcate scientific temper and curiosity among the students. On this occasion, it's my privilege to welcome the president of the function and the president of Vivekananda Vidyavardhaka Sangha, Dr. Prabhakar Bhat Kalladka. I welcome you, sir. I am honored to welcome Dr. Anirban Chakrabarti, Director of 𝐸𝐶. Welcome to you, sir. As a token of our love and respect, I request President of the function and President of Vivekananda Vidyavardhaka Sangha, Dr. Kalladka Prabhakar Bhat, to give a token of love and respect. I request our school governing council president, Srimati Vasanti K, to offer to welcome our guest, Sri Narayan Iyer, who is the President of the Science Society of India, I request ma'am to welcome and very warm welcome to Sri Narayan Iyer, President of Science Society of India. I acknowledge the presence of the President of our School Governing Council, Srimati Vasanti K, Correspondent of our School Governing Council, Shri Bharat Pai, Academic Administrator of our school, Srimati Anuradha Shivaram. Heartfelt welcome to the teachers present here, the teachers, those who have come from other schools accompanying their children. Welcome to you all. Welcome to all the students, the student participants of INSEF. Welcome to you all. I welcome all the media persons, students of Vivekananda PU College. I welcome you all. Avishkar is not just a program, it's a journey. It's a journey of creativity, innovation, and discovery. So we look forward to a great learning experience to all of you. I welcome you all once again and thank you for the opportunity.
I now invite our respected correspondent, Shri Bharat Pai, to deliver the keynote address for the INSEF Regional Fair.
Jai Shri Ram. Respected President Dr. Prabhakar Bhatt sir, Chief Guest Dr. Anirban sir, Distinguished Guest Narayan Iyer sir, dignitaries on and off the dais, teachers and dear students. A very good morning to you all. Have you ever observed why toddlers and young children are excellent learners compared to adults or teenagers? That's because they explore and learn using all their 5 sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, touch and taste. This learning approach makes things very efficient. The same approach we have adopted here in our school. Every child studying here will be seeing, touching and feeling the concept, what's taught in the classrooms, thereby making that child curious and creative as well, which are main ingredients for research and innovation today. We have hands-on learning, experiential learning, activity-based approach, project-based learning to make sure we impart 3-dimensional learning using all sense organs of our students to make learning efficient here. Many great scientists, including Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, have attributed their success to practical demonstrations done by their primary school teacher. You all know that, how Shiva Subramaniam, one of his science teachers, inspired him to dream big. Such is the impact of practical education in schools. Today, having completed 5 years and rose from a modest student strength of 47 to 594 as on date, to securing first rank in Puttur Taluk, along with 100% results in CBSE in the last 10th exams. We are privileged and we are very proud to say that we are one of the only schools and probably the first in the region to adopt this 3-dimensional learning in this Puttur area. All thanks to the management and supported by principal and team. We acknowledge your efforts in making a truly 2-dimensional school, delivering complete practical education from kindergarten. Our several initiatives like 15 books reading campaign, Lekkada Katte, integrating visual and performing arts into curriculum, field trips, Chetana program, and Geetamritam, where we impart the essence of Bhagavad Gita to students, all have been aimed at stimulating imagination in young minds, which are very essential to bring out innovation in children. So moving on, you all know our school's motto, that's nurturing creativity and excellence. So we are delighted to host this Avishkar, a 3-day science and creativity fest at our school premises. The purpose is to provide platform for young students to come up with their innovation, showcase it, and reward the distinguished, talented students. During these 3 days, that's first day, today we have this INSEF, Indian Science and Engineering Fair. It is conducted by Science Society of India. So we are grateful to Narayan Iyer sir for giving us this opportunity. We are doing this for the second time. There will be 28 teams competing today. And second day, that is tomorrow, we have an science outreach program where a team of scientists will be coming from Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai. They'll be coming here, they'll be conducting experiments, live demonstrations of various concepts you come across in science to arouse your scientific temper and making that subject easy. And on third day, we have a Chinnara Chittara. It's a program for children between 3 to 6 years of age to showcase their creativity. So during the second and third day, we have unique and attractive competitions for children of various age groups. Also, we'll be setting up a planetarium here so that you can explore space, astronomy, thereby further enriching your learning experience. So lastly but importantly, along with practical education, instilling patriotism and nationality and Indian values, that samskara in children from young age has been our motto, like any other Vivekananda institutions. We make sure that a child will be developing qualities like confidence, compassion, composure, empathy, ethics and integrity, which qualities are really needed today to make them a complete, resilient individuals. So let me conclude this by saying that today's science is tomorrow's technology. So think creatively, act ethically and live sustainably. Wish you all the best. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I humbly invite Sri Narayan Iyer, the President of Science Society of India, to kindly share the INSEF guidelines with all our participants.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a great honor that Vivekananda Central School is hosting INSEF Regional Fair here. And INSEF Regional Fair has an history since 2010 in this region in Puttur. So I'm very proud and grateful that this region has something which other regions don't have. Okay, so this region is filled with innovation. Okay, I believe that lot of innovation you will see in future Bharat will come from this region, because there is enthusiasm within the students. We have seen right from since 2010 this is being conducted. So since 15 years we are seeing that this region has students who have the enthusiasm, and they are doing great as we speak. So all the INSEF, when I see the INSEF, old INSEF participants, when I just Google their names, they are doing some company, they are running something, they are big entrepreneurs, they are doing scientific activities and things like that. So congratulations to all the INSEF participants here who have come to demonstrate their project. So let's give a big applause to all of you, because it's not easy to participate in INSEF. Why? Because you have submitted your project. Like you, there are around, in this particular case, around 60, 70 projects have submitted their projects, and out of which we have selected this 28 projects. So it's really tough to participate in INSEF. So you already have crossed the first milestone of participating in INSEF. Now, as you have come here, you'll be wondering, like, what's this going to be all about? What's going to happen in this particular fair? You will have a different experience here. Judges are going to come to your stall. Okay, we want to have a conversation with you, like a talk. We don't want to hear a boring presentation. Okay, so we want to have a conversation with you, just like what you would do with your friends, like converse with your friend, and we want to know during the discussion what you have done. Okay, so I would say when a judge is coming, you may have planned something, shorten that plan in terms of what, because we only have 10 minutes, judges have only 10 minutes. So shorten that plan of 5 minutes, you are continuously talking, and judges will not get a chance to interact with you. Their time is running out, they will be going to the other stall. Okay, so give the time for interaction, tell the important thing first, don't dwell on the problem statement, because everyone knows the problems. Remember that everyone has the common sense to understand what problem you are trying to solve, right? The problem is known. So no need to dwell on the problem, how many people are dying, UN sustainability and all those things. No need to give any lecture on those things. Just stick to the solution, okay? So just one line problem statement and stick to the solution of what you have done. And tell about your journey, how you started. If you have got multiple, say you did first prototype, it did not work, tell about everything. Now you start with telling about your main thing, and also showcase your journey of what happened in the past. The first prototype did not work, second also had problems. This is the third one which finally start working. Okay, so tell your whole research path or engineering work that you have done, and each judge is coming with different background. Okay, so don't answer the same thing. Understand what the judge is asking. Answer accordingly. You don't need to memorize anything. You have done the project, so you answer according to this, whatever the question that is being asked. And if you don't know the answer, just say, I don't know. Be truthful. Okay, if you have not done certain tests, just say, no, I have not done this particular test. But you can actually, if some question is asked, have you done this particular test? No, I have not done this test, but I have done this particular test. So it is your responsibility to get into a positive territory. Okay, so that you are always in the positive territory. Now it's possible that judge thinks that everything is over and let's say one more minute is left, right? And now judge is wondering, what do I ask more? It's possible that there is a pause between you and the judge. Okay, understand that pause, realize that there is a pause, and tell about the other things that you have done in the project. Show your logbook, show your other tests that you have done and things like that that you wanted to talk about. So make sure you tell the important things first, then gradually you go to the lower, other parts of the project. Okay, just like the newspaper. Newspaper, if I want to see, I'll see what the headlines is. I don't need to read the details. So even if I have spent 20 seconds seeing the newspaper, I know what has happened. Okay, it had rained heavily in Puttur yesterday. So I just came to know. How much of the details, I don't know, but at least I came to know that it has rained. Okay, so I would say this is also a good kind of, have a good interaction with the judge. And if language is an issue, suppose you're not comfortable with English, and you realize that the judge is able to speak Kannada, you can speak the local language. Or even if the judge feels that you kind of realize that the judge is able to speak some other language, like say Tulu, you can speak your local language. So if you realize language is not a barrier, you can actually shift to that particular whatever you have thought about. Okay. Now, other thing is about safety of this particular fair. Okay. I'm very particular about the fair has to be safe. Why? Because today, no press is going to come and cover this particular your innovation. No one is going to come. Okay. But if some accident happens, a fire or something happens, hundreds of reporters you will see lined up trying to cover this as a live coverage. That's the unfortunate era that we are living towards. We have to live, we can't change that thing, we have to live with that. So we want to make sure that our fair is safe. So if you are using matchstick, candle, fire, anything that is considered potentially unsafe, you cannot light up something in this fair. You have to take permission before you light up a candle, matches, heater, whatever this thing is. Acids, concentrated acid, if you have, you cannot use this because it may be unsafe. You may harm other people. Okay, and we don't want to be there in the news for wrong reason. We want to be in the news for right reasons. Okay, so anything that you feel that is potentially unsafe, you have to actually approach me. I'm here. You have to ask and take my physical permission before you start showing the things. Okay, so just tell the volunteers that I want to talk to Mr. Narayan. I'm here and I want to make sure they show me what they're showing, and I will make the decision whether it's allowed or not allowed. Okay, so make sure that safety is the most important thing. Make sure that you take care of it. We all are responsible citizens, and you want to make sure that this fair is safe. Okay. That's pretty much it. Thanks and all the best to everyone.
ಇದೀಗ ದೀಪ ಪ್ರಜ್ವಲನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಉದ್ಘಾಟಿಸಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸಭಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿರುವ ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ಕಲ್ಲಡ್ಕ ಪ್ರಭಾಕರ್ ಭಟ್ ಇವರು.
ದೀಪಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಪರಂ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ದೀಪಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ಜನಾರ್ದನಃ ದೀಪೋ ಹರತು ಮೇ ಪಾಪಂ ದೀಪಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೇ ಶುಭಂ ಕರೋತು ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಂ ಆರೋಗ್ಯಂ ಸುಖ ಸಂಪದಃ ದ್ವೇಷಬುದ್ಧಿವಿನಾಶಾಯ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೇ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಃ ಪ್ರದೀಪ್ತಾಯ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಃ ಪ್ರದೀಪ್ತಾಯ ಗುರುರ್ಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ನಮೋಸ್ತುತೇ.
Now, the event will be digitally inaugurated by the chief guest of today's event, Dr. Anirban Chakrabarti. I request the dignitaries to come down for the inauguration. The event will be digitally inaugurated by the chief guest of today's event, Dr. Anirban Chakrabarti. I request Hema Madam to assist in the procedure. Thank you, sir. I consider it a great privilege for me to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Anirban Chakrabarti. He is a distinguished academic researcher with over 25 years of experience in molecular biology and biomedicine. His pioneering work spans rare genetic disease in modeling, genetic disease modeling, cancer genetics, development of non-invasive DNA-based diagnostic tools. He is the co-founder of the 𝐁𝐝𝐯 Consortium for Rare Genetic and Bone Marrow Disorders and the creator of the Cancer Gene Database at the 𝐁𝐝𝐯. With a PhD from Kagoshima University, Japan, and a prestigious postdoctoral work in Japan and France, he has authored over 80 international publications, holds patents, and has guided several doctoral scholars. At NUCSER, he leads the division of molecular genetics and cancer, driving major research collaborations across the globe. It is now time to hear to the luminary in the world of scientific research. With profound respect, I invite Dr. Anirban Chakrabarty, Director, Nitte University's Center for Science, Education and Research, to deliver his esteemed address.
Jai Shri Ram. Good morning to all of you present here. It's an honor to share the days with someone like Dr. Prabhakar. I'm meeting sir for the first time, and it's indeed a privilege for me to be sharing the days and sitting next to him. We know about sir very well, and I can only say that today I felt that I have reached a stature in life where I could share the days with someone like Dr. Prabhakar sir. Thank you for having me here, sir. Sri Narayan Iyer, the President of the Science Society of India, the President of the Governing Council, Mrs. Vasanthi, the Academic Administrator, Anuradha Madam, whom I know very well for a very long time, the correspondent of the Academic Council, Mr. Bharat, and the principal of the college, Mrs. Sindhu. I know Kannada, I do speak, but then I thought maybe something I'll speak in Kannada, but to share the dais with someone like Dr. Prabhakar and to speak or to dare to speak in front of him in Kannada would be a big challenge. So, ಆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ನಾನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಆ ಲೆವೆಲ್ದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಒಂದು 11 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸಿಂದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ learning a language is probably the first thing that you should do when you are in a different place. They say if you have to live completely in a society, learning the language is one of the most important things that you should do. Two things connect people. One is language, the other one is religion. And I think we all know that these are the two things that are very dear to our heart. What you do about our religion is purely personal, but what you do about our language is something that we can spread across the world. And I think to be in a position to speak different languages gives us this edge over connecting with different levels of people at different parts of the world. So I think it's fortune for me that I have returned to Mangalore. I did study here, and then I came back, and I didn't know that I will probably come back to Mangalore. So when I returned to India, and when it was kind of decided that I'm going back to Mangalore, I quickly remembered that the days that I spent here as a student, probably not at your age, but perhaps little elder to you at that point of time, and that I came back and I felt, yes, ಆ ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. So science is something that is very dear to me. But before I talk about science, let me talk about Swami Vivekananda. For many of you who do not know, I come from the land of Swami Vivekananda. And before I talk about science, maybe I should talk about something that he always believed in. And his concept of universal truth basically connected two important things. One is scientific inquiry, the other one is spiritual wisdom. Contrary to the belief that these two are contradictory to each other, Swami Vivekananda felt that they go hand in hand. These are two parallel forces. Basically, you actually these two forces converge towards a common goal. And that common goal is the truth, the finding of unity and the universal oneness. And why we should focus on universal oneness through science is to talk about the welfare of all. Scientific inquiry allows you to explore the external world. Spirituality allows you to explore your internal world. And if we do both together, there is no reason for us to believe that these two can be cultivated, can be inculcated together in every individual. And I am very happy that Vivekananda Vidyavardhaka Sangha in Puttur is actually doing this in all their organizations, in all their institutions. They're not just talking about making responsible citizens of the country, but they're also trying to make sure that we are equally aware of our spirituality, of our history, of our culture, of our tradition. This beautiful country that we have lived, our ancestors have lived, and the beautiful country that has grown into such an important force in the world. I'm addressing students who are probably at the budding stage of your career, at the stage where you probably do not realize how challenging the world will be. The world that you are going to inherit is a lot more challenging than the world that we inherited, or our parents inherited, or the world that people like Dr. Prabhakar sir inherited. Two important things that made changes in the way we live. I do not know how many of you have access to mobile phones, but just imagine the kind of technology that we have in our phones. These are not called phones anymore. These are tools of life. These are devices which can be used for many different things. One of them is to talk to each other. But then we use it for many other applications, and talking to someone is probably the last one that we see in a mobile phone these days, although it started with that particular application. Look at the way we communicate around the world. Every information is at our fingertips. A click on a button of a computer takes you to a search engine, and you tend to find answer to everything that you want. Look at the way we have identified diseases. Not just identified, look at the way we have found a solution to it. The biggest example of a success story that has come from this country in the field of health science is the COVID-19 vaccine that was prepared by Bharat Biotech in the country. It is unimaginable, probably 5 years back, to think of a vaccine to come up in 2 years. It not just come, it has managed to keep many of our countrymen alive during this pandemic of COVID-19. All these examples that I gave, these are not merely magic. These are basically efforts of two basic endeavors of human race. And these two things are, one is discovery, the other one is innovation. And today we are celebrating innovation, we are celebrating discovery in the form of Avishkar, in the form of Science Fest for budding scientists of tomorrow. I don't expect all of you to become scientists, but then scientific inquiry should be your way of life, whatever you do in your future. You are students of today, but you are the architects of tomorrow. And these two words that I just mentioned, discovery and innovation, they should not just become concepts for you, they should be your highest calling. Whatever we do, we must focus on these two important things. So what powers discovery? What is the fuel to that discovery? It's your curiosity. Is it possible to teach curiosity to students? Can we include in our curriculum? The answer is no. we can't do it in a curriculum. There is no set rule to decide or to teach curiosity. Curiosity comes from within. I think Mr. Bharat was mentioning experiential learning. One of the ways by which you can raise your curiosity or make yourself better curious in future is to observe things. The more you observe, the more you learn. And if you think asking a question which appears to be too simple would make you look foolish, then get this thing out of your mind. Any question is a question. And scientific inquiry basically asks you or encourages you to ask questions. If we do that, we know an answer which we didn't know yesterday. And what happens when you know that answer? We get one more question in our minds. And we look for that answer tomorrow. I'm sure your teachers are quite aware of this, and I'm sure they come prepared to quest your curiosity with proper answers that you expect from them. But there is no end to learning. All our teachers, I don't see anybody could say that I know everything in life. If we say this, then that's the end of it. We need to continuously change ourselves for better. Successful people or successful individuals of the society are the ones that know how to learn, how to unlearn, and how to relearn. If we do not update ourselves, we do not keep pace with the innovation that we are talking about. As we innovate, every single thing, every single aspect in our daily life, everything is a result of a science, a discovery made by someone. It could be out of pure serendipity. It could be out of a pure passion. It could be just a pure luck. Someone observed something. And then that led to a theory, that led to a phenomena that was discovered. But everything comes out of scientific inquiry and discovery. Now, if you are talking about the machine that drives us, that's innovation. And innovation through action. Now, if you ask me what is the difference between discovery and innovation, discovery is finding that key. Innovation is using that key to open that door which will lead you to a different world. Finding that key is not enough. Knowing how to use that key is equally important. And what we should focus on that innovation is looking at the practical applications of solving real world problems. And if I have to go back to what Swami Vivekananda said, he said welfare for all. It means we should find solutions that could change the life of many in this world, and that should give a solution to tackle the real world problems. Science without application is not science. It may remain confined in a book, it may remain confined in a thesis, and it may remain confined in a paper. But if we do not know how to apply that science in our today's world, it means nothing. And to be able to succeed in our quest for innovation, two things are very important. Again, first one, you will be surprised to know that first one is failure. I think we quoted Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and he is someone who has always believed that unless we try and fail, we'll not succeed. So please remember that we must try and fail, but we must not fail to try. If we try, chances are that we know what made us fail. And if we are smart enough, we know that we are not going to do that mistake again, and we get to the next point. this concept of Avishkar 2K25 that is being conducted here in this college, this institution, it's a 3 days event, as our guest of eminence, Sri Narayan, mentioned what are the activities that are going to be taking place. And I'm absolutely delighted that school that has students from primary level to higher education is looking at a wide range of activities to inculcate the spirit of science. But as I mentioned, the world that you're going to inherit is a lot more challenging. What are those challenges? Climate change, resource scarcity, cyber security, artificial intelligence, public health, and the list goes on. Textbook knowledge is your foundation, but what makes you an accomplished student or an accomplished citizen of this country is your ability to innovate that knowledge into something that can help you connect the dots. In this world of multidisciplinary approach, your science should be able to allow you to connect the dots between biology, computer science, history, and ethics. And if we bring all of that, we talked about the Indian traditional knowledge system. We have been practicing these knowledge systems for centuries. When these were discovered, when these were practiced, people didn't know the scientific basis to all of this. And nowadays, we know that there is a scientific basis to every single ritual that our forefathers have taught us. Every individual system of Indian traditional, be it in medical science, be it in engineering science, be it in social science, every single thing has a scientific basis. So, if we are able to connect this, that would be a real understanding of science. I want all of you to enjoy this Science Fest. Don't worry if you have not won a prize. Don't worry if you have failed in your experiment, or don't worry if you have failed in the demonstration of your project to the judges. What's more important is that you have tried. And what's more important that you have participated. You need to start small, innovate through simple steps. In Japanese culture, there is a concept called kaizen. Making simple changes, small changes every single day, which will accumulate in the form of a very cumulative change over a period of time. And that will reflect into your change in habits. What are the changes that you're talking about? Change the way you study. Don't go for rote memory. Try to understand the concept. I'm sure your teachers do not expect you to write what they teach in the class. They expect you to write what is correct, what is the real answer for that question. And if you are not comfortable in the language that is widely accepted around the world, we can always master it. We need not be shy about English not being our native language. We must be proud of over 15 different languages in the country. And every average Indian, for that matter, knows at least 3 to 4 languages quite comfortably. I speak about 7 languages. I speak Japanese, I know French, I know Kannada, I know my native language, my Bengali, I speak English, I speak Hindi. To a certain extent, I also understand Tulu. But how does it help? Ontonte barpundu. Atu barpuji. Ontonte. Matrala artha pundu. Anyway, so how does it help? It keeps our brain elastic. And there is scientific evidence to it that if you are multilingual, it helps you learn things faster. And the good part of it is this is your ability to speak different languages. It also decided by a gene in our body. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. There is a gene that tells you whether you are going to be multilinguistic or not. And we also know that genes express for many reasons. One of them is the environment. So if you are in an environment where there is always a possibility of scientific inquiry, I'm sure you are going to explore a lot more than a normal or an average student in this country. Believe me, we are in a country where 80% of the children go for higher education. Many states in the country have literacy rate of 98 to 100%. How is it possible for a country of 1.4 billion people? It's the foundation that we have in our education system. And Government of India, since 2020, introduced a new concept in the way we learn things. And that's called the revised national education policy of the country. And I'm sure this school also adopts NEP 2020 in spirit and letter. What it means, simple sentence, what NEP signifies is, it is not just about learning, but it is also about learning how to learn. And if we follow this, we are going to be very successful in future. Wish you all the very best for the Science Fest and for everything else that you do till you come up in life and you choose a career that is not governed by the pressures of the society or the expectations of your parents, but purely by your passion and by your interest in what you want to do in life. But remember, whatever you want to do in life, let it be driven by discovery and innovation. Do simple things. Even if you make changes in lives of 10 people around you, that would be considered something worthwhile while you did for a society. Be curious, be bold, and build a better future for you, because things are going to be very difficult in the days to come. Efforts are all in place to make sure that the world is sustainable. And we talk about sustainable development through those 17 goals that have been set up by United Nations. And we are talking about how to live in a sustainable planet. Everything else is okay. But if we do not act on what we preach, then there is no meaning to it. So as teachers, as seniors, it is our duty to preach, at the same time practice, and as students of tomorrow, as the citizens of tomorrow, and the crusaders of change, it is your duty to make sure that you discover the questions and also innovate to find answer to these solutions. Once again, I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity to be here amongst you today and be a part of this wonderful celebration. I thank the management once again for having me here today and giving me this opportunity to share the dais with eminent people like Dr. Prabhakar sir and many others. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, sir, for the much engaging address where you have put everything in a nutshell of what we expected from you.
ಪ್ರೇರಣಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಲೆಯ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಪತ್ರಿಕೆ ಇದು. ಶಾಲಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಪ್ರಸಕ್ತ ವರ್ಷದ ಹಲವು ಸಾಧನೆಗಳು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರುವ ಅನೇಕ ಫಲದಾಯಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳ ವಿವರಗಳು, ಹಾಗೆಯೇ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರ, ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹಾಗೂ ಪೋಷಕರ ಲೇಖನಗಳನ್ನು, ಕಲಾ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಈ ಪ್ರೇರಣಾ ಪತ್ರಿಕೆಯು ಶಾಲಾ ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೊಂದು ದಿನ ಅತಿ ಅಮೂಲ್ಯವಾದ ದಾಖಲೆಯಾಗಬಲ್ಲದು. ಇದೀಗ ಪ್ರೇರಣಾವನ್ನು ಸಭಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕಲ್ಲಡ್ಕ ಪ್ರಭಾಕರ್ ಭಟ್ ಶ್ರೀಮನ್ ಇವರು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆಗೊಳಿಸಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಕೋರಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೇನೆ.
I request the editorial team consisting of Mallika madam, Hema madam, Lata Shankari madam and Vinaya madam to join.
ಇಂದಿನ ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾಗಿರುವ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರಭಾಕರ್ ಭಟ್ ಶ್ರೀಮನ್ ಇವರನ್ನು ಸಭೆಯನ್ನುದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷೀಯ ನುಡಿಗಳನ್ನಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಜೈ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ್. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ರ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ನವರು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನು ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಏರಿಸುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ, ಅದು ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಯೋಜನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ, ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎರಡನೇದಾಗಿ 2 ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶೇಷ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ನಾರಾಯಣ ಅಯ್ಯರ್, ಅವರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಎರಡನೇದು ಅನಿರ್ಬಾನ್ ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿ, ನಿಜವಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿ. ಅವರು ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಊರಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಯುವಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಚಕ್ರವರ್ತಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಇಡೀ ದೇಶವನ್ನು ಗೆದ್ದವನು ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರೋದೇನೆಂದರೆ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ಜನ್ಮಭೂಮಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆ ಕಡೆ, ಈಗ ತ್ರಿಪುರ, ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥ ತ್ರಿಪುರ ಅಂತ. ಅಂದರೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಅದು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ಜನ್ಮಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿರುವಂಥ ಭಾಗ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಜಗತ್ತಿನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೊನೆಗೂ ನಮ್ಮೂರಿಗೆ ಬಂದರು. ಅವರು ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆಯ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ಊರಿನಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾನೋ ಆ ಊರಿನವರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಭಾಷೆ ಬೇಕು. ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ತುಳುನೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಅವರ ಜೀನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಜೀನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಕಲಿತಾನೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀನ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಭಾಷೆಯನ್ನು ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಕಲಿಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು 2 ವಿಷಯ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು ಅಮೇರಿಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರು, ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು. ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಅಮೇರಿಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷಣವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದರು ಅವರು. ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಡುಕ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯಿತು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಎದುರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 7,000 ಜನ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಬಾರಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇವರು, ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಏನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಗೊಂದಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಮೂಲೆಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದರೆ ಅಕ್ಕ ತಂಗಿಯರೇ ಅಂತ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದವರು. ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ, ಒಂದು ಶಬ್ದವನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರು, ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬ್ರದರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೇರಿಕಾ ಅಂತ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅಮೇರಿಕದ ಅಕ್ಕ ತಂಗಿಯರೇ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದಿರೇ ಅಂತ. ಆ 7,000 ಜನ ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಭಾರಿ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತರು, ಭಾರಿ ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸರು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಸಲ್ಮಾನರು, ಕ್ರಿಶ್ಚಿಯನ್ರು, ಪಾರ್ಸಿಗಳು, ಯಹೂದಿಗಳು, ಸೊರೆಸ್ಟ್ರೇನ್, ಹೀಗೆ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮತ ಸಂಪ್ರದಾಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದವರು ಇದು. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ತಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಕುಣಿದ್ರು, ಕುಪ್ಪಳಿಸಿದರು. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿದರು. ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ದೇವರು ಇರೋದು ಅಂತ, ಆ ದೇವರ ಅಂಶಗಳು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಂತ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ, ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ದೇಶ ಇರಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಭಾಷೆ ಇರಲಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯವನಿರಲಿ, ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಆ ದೇವರ ಅಂಶ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಯಿತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದರು. ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇವರು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಭಾರಿ ಕ್ಯೂರಿಯಸ್, ಕುತೂಹಲ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ, ಈ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನೀವು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಅಂತೂ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಅಂತ. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎದೆ ಎತ್ತಿ ತಲೆ ಎತ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾರಿ ಗರ್ವದಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಜಗತ್ತು ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರನ್ನು. ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ತುದಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಅವರು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅವರೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, 1,000 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ 100 ದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಡೆಸಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಭಾರತದ ಸಂತ ಮಹಂತ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಗಳು, ಋಷಿಗಳು, ಅವರ ಪರಂಪರೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಸೇರಿದವನು ಅಂತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಅನೇಕ ಬಾರಿ ನಮಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇವೆ, ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂತಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾರು ಒಂದು ಗುರು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರನ್ನು ನೀವು ಅನುಸರಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಯಾವುದ್ಯಾವುದೋ ವಿದೇಶಿಯರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ನಮ್ಮ DNA ಅವರನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಆ DNA ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಸಂತ ಮಹಂತರು, ಋಷಿಗಳು, ತಪಸ್ವಿಗಳು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಅವರ DNA ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋದು. ಒಂದು ಸಲ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊರಟ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಎತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಎದ್ದು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಟಮ್ ಯಾರು ಕಂಡು ಹುಡುಕಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಡಾಲ್ಟನ್ಸ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಥಿಯರಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬನ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಸುಮಾರು 20-25 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದೇನೋ, ರಷ್ಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಬರೆದಿದೆ. ಆ ಪುಸ್ತಕದ ಹೆಸರು ಆ್ಯಟಮ್ ಅಂತ. ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. ಒಂದು 800 ಪುಟದ ಪುಸ್ತಕ. ನಾನೇನು ಓದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು ಮಾತ್ರ. ಅದರ ಮೊದಲನ ಪುಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ಆ ರಷ್ಯನ್ರು ಇದನ್ನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ, ಈ ಆ್ಯಟಮ್ಮಿನ ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂಥ ಭಾರತದ ಋಷಿ ಕಣಾದ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು ಅಂತ. ಯಾರಿಗೊತ್ತು? ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕಣಾದನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಉಳಿದವ್ರದ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಋಷಿಮುನಿಗಳು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಂತರು ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಸಾಧನೆಗಳು ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಈಗ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೆ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಬೇಕು. ಹೀಗೆ ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪು, ಸಣ್ಣದು ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್. ಅದು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಯಾವುದು ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ನೋಡೋದು, ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ಒಳಗೇನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡೋದು. ಒಂದು ಸಲ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಿದೆ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಜಗತ್ತು ಕಂಡು ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂತೆ, ಜಗತ್ತೇ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಏರಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡೋದಂದರೆ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ನಾನು ಏನು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಂತ. ಹೊರಗಿನ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಿಂದ ಒಳಗಿನ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬರೋದು ಅಂತ. ಹೊರಗಿನ ಜಗತ್ತು ಏನೇನೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದರ ಬದಲು ನಾನೇನು ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಜಗತ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಹೊಸತೇನಿದೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದರು. ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಮೊದಲು ಕುತೂಹಲ. ಏನು ನೋಡಿದರೂ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋದು. ಆ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅನೇಕ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳು ಕಂಡುಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಒಂದು 5-6 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕಲ್ಲಡ್ಕ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅಟಲ್ ಟಿಂಕರಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬನ್ನು ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆವು ನಾವು. ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಆಗ ತಾನೇ ರಿಟೈರ್ ಆದಂಥ ನಿವೃತ್ತರಾದಂಥ ಕಿರಣ್ ಕುಮಾರ್, ಇಸ್ರೋದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಅವರನ್ನು ಕರೆಸಿತ್ತು ನಾವು. ಅದು 4-5ನೇ ಮಹಡಿಯಲ್ಲದಿದ್ದದ್ದು. ಪ್ರತಿ ಮಹಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆವು ನಾವು, ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 2ನೇ ಮಹಡಿಗೆ ಹೋದರು. 2ನೇ ಮಹಡಿಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಒಂದು 2.5 ಅಡಿ ಎತ್ತರದ ಒಂದು ಮೇಜು, ಟೇಬಲ್, ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹುಡುಗ. ಅವನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎತ್ತರ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಅವನು ಬಂದು ಇವ್ರು ಯಾರಂತ ಅವನಿಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವನಿಗೆ 4ನೇ ಹುಡುಗನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಅವನು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಇವನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ. ಇವನೇನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ, ಇವನ ಅಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನರ್ಸ್ ಅವಳು. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕುತೂಹಲ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ನ ಸಿರಿಂಜ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಾ ಅಂತ ಅಮ್ಮನ ಹತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಮ್ಮ ಮತ್ತು ಇವನು ಇಬ್ಬರು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಅದೇನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅವನು ತೋರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದದ್ದು. ಇದೇನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಇದೊಂದು JCB ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ. ಅವನು JCB ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದು ಹೇಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಿರಿಂಜಿನ ಒಳಗೆ ನೀರಿತ್ತು. ಆ ನೀರನ್ನು ಒತ್ತಿದವನು ಒತ್ತಿರಗುಡ್ಲದ ಮೆಲ್ಲಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ನಿಂತಿತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದನ್ನು ಒತ್ತಿದ, ಆವಾಗ ಅದು ಹೀಗೆ ತಿರುಗಿತು. 3ನೇದನ್ನು ಎತ್ತುವಾಗ ಅದು ತಿರುಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವನ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ನೋಡಿ ನನಗೆ ಅನಿಸಿದ್ದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ವಿವರಿಸಿದ. JCB ಯಾಕೆ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಅಂತ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟಡ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಾದರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ, ಕೂಲಿಗಳು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು 100 ಕೂಲಿಗಳು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಇದು 1 ಗಂಟೆ 2 ಗಂಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ, ಆದರೆ ಈ JCBಯಿಂದ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇವರಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ, ಏನು ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದ, ಈ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಲ್ಲುಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗಿತಿದೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮರಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗಿತಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಸರ್ವನಾಶ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಇದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಸಲ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊರಟ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಯನ್ನು ಬೇಕಾದರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಯೋಚನೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸಂಶೋಧನೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕತೆ, ನಾವೇನು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಏನೇನು ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿದರು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಅದಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದು. ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ವಿದ್ಯಾವರ್ತಕ ಸಂಘದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ನೀವು ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬ ಮಹಾಪುರುಷನ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಒಂದು ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಥ ಮಹಾಪುರುಷರು ನಾವು ಸರಿಯಾದ ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆಯುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮದಾಗಲಿ. ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸವಾಲು ನಮಗೆ. ಆ ಸವಾಲನ್ನು ಎದುರಿಸಿ ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ, ಇವತ್ತು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿ ರಷ್ಯಾದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಸಂಜೆ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಪುತಿನ್ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಬರುವುದೇ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯ ಅಂತ. ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ರಷ್ಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಅಮೇರಿಕಾ ಅವರು ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಈಗ ಅವರು ಅನುಮತಿ ಕೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಪುತಿನ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಂಪು ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಬರಲಿ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಬರದೆ ಸಣ್ಣದಾಗಿಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ. ಅಂಥ ಭಾರತದ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನೀವು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, ನಾವು ಯಾವ ವಂಶ ಯಾವುದು ಪರಂಪರೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ಅಂಥ ಋಷಿಮುನಿಗಳ ಸಂತ ಮಹಂತರ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಒಂದು DNA ಜೀವತಂತು ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಈ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ, ಈ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಬದುಕುವಂಥ ಚಿಂತನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಶುಭವಾಗಲಿ. ಒಂದೇ ಮಾತರು.
Now we move on to a moment of honor and gratitude. May I request Dr. 𝐲𝐵 𝐾𝐲𝐿, the President of Vivekananda Vidyavardhaka Sangha, to kindly present a memento to the chief guest, Dr. 𝐼𝐻𝐵 𝐶𝐵 as a token of our respect and gratitude. I request Srimati Vasanthi K, the President of School Governing Council, to kindly present the memento to Sri Narayan Iyer, the President of Science Society of India. To express our gratitude to everyone who contributed to the success of this inaugural ceremony, I invite Srimati Jayashree S to purport the vote of thanks.
Jai Shri Ram. Respected dignitaries on and off the dais, it gives me an immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on this occasion of inaugural ceremony. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to the esteemed President Dr. 𝐲𝐵 𝐾𝐲𝐿, the President of Vivekananda Vidyavardhaka Sangha, for presiding over this function. I'd like to thank Dr. 𝐼𝐻𝐵 𝐶𝐵, Director, Nitte University Center for Science, Education and Research, for sharing his thoughts and vision and inspiring young learners. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to Sri Narayan Iyer, President, Science Society of India, for giving us an opportunity to host such a significant event, 𝐸𝐶𝐹 Regional Fair, in our institution. Thank you, sir. I acknowledge the presence of the President, Srimati Vasanthi K, the correspondent, Sri Bharat Bhai, Principal, Srimati Sindhu Viji, and Academic Administrator, Srimati Anuradha Shivaram. My heartfelt thanks to all the participants and accompanying teachers for making this event a grand success. I extend my sincere thanks to all the judges, invitees, PTA members, parents who are present here. We are also grateful to the press and media members for capturing this moment and taking a message beyond the walls. A special note of appreciation to all the members of the management, teaching and non-teaching staff, and the students for your dedication. Thank you, one and all.
Using microbes. Let's say we have used 3 types of microbes, like van and pseudomonas. So here are the reports. So of this, sir, this is the first plate, sir, which we have soil plus FOM and stereo plus. Sir, this is the period of 30 days. So this one is the second plate in which we have soil plus FOM plus and the third one is soil plus soil. So the first microbes has resulted most at the height and is the tallest, and the number of leaves are very large and more compared to the other two plants. So here is the
the colony of microbial count for access to the culture.
Shaping is after making it spread, cut it into pieces and decommissioning it was standard part. So paper, tissue paper, it can be made, and so it is good for the nature and the people also, because it is not, and it is fire resistant. We have tried some experiments over here, like burn test. So if burn, we can go through on some in burn test, we fire normal paper and and when we compare it, it is like it takes time for catch on fire. Our condoms are not just like packaging material, it can use like book cover and packaging, mostly like handbags and these horses. We can use tissue papers and even it can be made from states for your idea of making a paper. This is more. So we have tried up to 5 experiments. The first is like burn test. We take the condoms and burn it and ours is one, it takes time. Light up. And so all the mechanisms are this is the methodology. We take up the cell from our nearby farmers, over 20 kg body and add some sugar. Yes, so one thing is like outside covering with the food and the school fees. Only 1 layer, and the inside one is used for our project because it contains a rich amount of cellulose in it, and we make it as this pulp and keep in a container for drying out. We need a large sunlight, so ours is little bit smaller. And here are some pipe jars. So many other materials, and for cardboard we need that effects means heat compression or cold compression.
ಸುದ್ದಿ ಚಾನಲ್ ಕ್ಷಣ ಕ್ಷಣದ ಸುದ್ದಿಗಾಗಿ